Hey everybody. I was having a beer the other day with my friend Al, and he asked me,
Professor Bob, please communicate why we have to cite our sources in a research paper.
I ordered a couple more beers and I told him there's 3 good reasons for citing sources. 1, it gives proper credit to the authors of the words or ideas that you incorporate into your paper. 2, it allows those who are reading your work to locate your sources in order to learn more about them. And 3, it creates a bright line distinction between your words and ideas and the words and ideas of others. This helps you avoid plagiarism.
Thank you, Professor Bob.
You're welcome, Al. To use information from your sources, you can either directly quote them, meaning you put their exact words inside quote marks, or you can paraphrase them, meaning you are sharing their ideas in your own words. You have to be super clear though, and make sure there is no confusion as to what words and ideas are yours and what words and ideas come from others. To do this properly, you need to understand 3 simple things: signal phrases, in-text citations, and the works cited page. Who wants to tell me what a signal phrase is?
A signal phrase is how we communicate with interplanetary civilizations.
No, Al. A signal phrase is a phrase that introduces a quotation or paraphrase. It includes a verb such as says, writes, argues, etc., and briefly identifies the authority of your source and points readers alphabetically to the works cited page. Here's what they look like in our sample assignment. This phrase tells us that the source's authority is as a literature professor, and that the full citation for the source can be found alphabetically by G here on the works cited page. I'll show you how to make these citations in a few minutes, but for now, let's look at a few more signal phrases. These are good signal phrases. They give us the authority of the source and a name that should point alphabetically to the works cited page. Now let's look at some bad signal phrases. This one uses somebody's first name by itself in a signal phrase. Do not do that. Use their full name at the first mention, and then just their last name in mentions after that. This one does not point alphabetically to the works cited page. In this one, do not combine according to with he or she says. It's redundant and it is confusing. This one does not state the authority of the source, and it provides needless information. We can find all of that in the works cited citation if we need to. And if your discussion of a source starts getting long and you are paraphrasing a lot, make sure you keep repeating signal phrases or you will end up committing plagiarism. These repeating signal phrases can look like this. Now, who wants to tell me what an in-text citation is?
It's when you get a ticket for texting while flying your spaceship.
No, Al. An in-text citation is a brief citation that you put in parentheses at the end of a quote or paraphrase. It looks like this. The only information that goes in an in-text citation is a last name and a page number. If you mention the author's name in your signal phrase, as I did here, then you don't need to put it in the in-text citation. If you mention the author's name in your signal phrase and the source does not have a page number, such as a website, then you do not need an in-text citation at all. In the second example, because I did not name the authors in my signal phrase, I need to put it in my in-text citation so that it points the reader alphabetically to my works cited page. Notice also how it is punctuated. The period does not go at the end of the quote or paraphrase. It goes at the end of the citation here. And if you're wondering what et al means, it just means and others in Latin. You use that instead of having to write down all the author's last names in the citation. Now let's look at some bad in-text citations. This one uses a full name. Do not do that. This one puts a comma after the last name. Do not do that. This one puts PG for page. Do not do that. This one puts a whole works cited entry. Do not do that. And speaking of works cited entries, who wants to tell me what a works cited page is?
It is a device used to torture human students.
No, Al. If you want to be tortured though, then you can take a book like this and force yourself to memorize how to cite everything. So that if somebody says, hey, how do you cite a multi-volume periodical by 2 or more authors? You can be the life of that party. But I don't have time for that. I want somebody else to write the citation for me. And here's how you can do that too. This is Google Scholar. You see here that there are actually hundreds of articles and books that discuss this novel that I wrote. It's kind of flattering, I guess, and you wouldn't even believe how much money I make off this. But let's say I want to write a paper about myself and I want to use one of these sources. How do I cite it? Well, it's really easy. All you do is click these little quote marks here. Then you copy the MLA selection. It's that simple. I'll also need to know this guy's authority for my signal phrase. And in some cases, there will be a little bio information with the source. But in this case, I just Googled the guy and found out that he's a literature professor. This is EBSCO from our library website. Here you just click on the source. Then click on this little page button to get the citation. And here is some information from the author so that I can build my signal phrase. This is Citation Machine. You can use this if you found your source someplace that didn't already provide a citation. You just tell it what kind of source it is, and you can see they can cite just about everything, including an interview that you conduct yourself. For a book, you can try entering the title here to see if it's famous enough to be already in their database. And of course, this one is. Then for whatever your source is, you click Cite, Continue. You can double check the information, then click Complete Citation. And here is your citation. It allows you to copy it, and it also allows you to copy an in-text citation. Now let's take a look at an actual works cited page. A works cited page is always the last page of your paper, and it starts on its own page. It says works cited centered up here at the top, and then lists your sources in alphabetical order. Everything is double spaced, no extra spaces between the entries, and each entry has a hanging indent. How do you make a hanging indent? Let's take this source here that we found on EBSCO. We'll copy the MLA works cited citation, and then we'll paste it into our paper. Okay, sometimes when you paste citations into your paper, it will come with all kinds of crazy formatting. In this case, we need to take off that gray highlight. We need to make Times New Roman 12-point font. And we need to make sure the spacing is double. Then to create the hanging indent, you simply click Format, Align and Indent, Indentation Options, and at the bottom here, select Hanging and click Apply. There you go. It's that simple. Okay, we're almost done. Now let's take a quick look at your assignment. Okay, step 1, check. Step 2, you can watch this other video if you want more information on how to create a works cited page. Step 3, I want you to use Google Scholar and or EBSCO to find 2 sources on the topic of social justice in Hawaii, or really any topic you want. And then I want you in step 4 to create a paper in MLA format that delivers a direct quote and a paraphrase, one from each source that you found. Make sure your direct quote and paraphrase include a proper signal phrase and or proper in-text citation that points alphabetically to your works cited page. And of course, include on its own page a proper works cited page. And your completed assignment should look just like this. You give me a direct quote, includes a signal phrase, the direct quote, and an in-text citation. You give me a paraphrase that includes a signal phrase, a paraphrase, and an in-text citation. And for both sources, you give me a works cited page.
That concludes this video transmission. Please comply with all homework directives and have a nice day.